The birds are up, but not much else. That's the lovely sound of the river. Not as an exciting swimming spot as I was hoping, but I did get wet and cool, so that was nice. Modern LED lights might be nice, but the old yellow ones look much nicer. But I guess it's not there for looks, is it? Not quite sure what it is like this time of the morning. Unnecessary use of electricity, I would say. We just got normal suburbs, dead straight line. Not many cars about, but the lights are lit. I think it's in case any aliens want to land on the road. Saturday morning, 6 o'clock. Oh, there's a car. And a mad pilgrim in the middle of the road. Colours of all the houses. It's funny, isn't it? Why should colours make a difference? But they do. Property acquired. Old disused factory. Ooh, housing 3 cars this morning. We're just leaving fancy suburbia land. Got some quite impressive houses. Look at this beast. I thought maybe it was going to stay like this all the way through to, I'm not quite sure what the name of the town is we're walking into this morning. It's typically about 6k. We've got a nice morning today. I think we've got something like 4 villages and 1 town we're walking through. Should be good for coffee stops. Just had a banana and I was weak if I didn't have a chocolate biscuit for breakfast. Figure out why we've got such good paved paths, but look, drop curve there, drop curve there, drop curve here, drop curve here. I reckon this is earmarked for development, ribbon development. Nice morning. I thought it was going to be cloudier than it's okay. Not a great fan of walking on concrete. I don't know why, but little tiny concrete paving slabs, they don't chime with me. But then walking on concrete of any description, regardless of the size of the paving slabs, it is actually more comfortable to walk on a tarmac. And then more comfortable again, gravel, and more comfortable again, a earth track, and then grass. I paid the price walking through Meseta. My shoes are Gore-Tex, and so they don't breathe so well. So they're pretty hot through Meseta. But I am having the advantage. Now I walked into a wetter region. So I was ticking along on the grass verge in the village a minute ago, and it's really wet underfoot. But carries a non-Gore-Tex line, which are much nicer. They're breathable, but of course, a single drop of water comes straight through, and you feel it on your foot. Some little bits of low cloud, hanging cloud, which are quite nice. And what is otherwise a bit of a boring walk. Birds are nice. We were walking through the village yesterday, and there's incredible bird song, and then we realised that someone's got a couple of canaries in their cages that they hang out from their window and the street. Nice for us, maybe not so nice for the canaries. I didn't think the cherries looked that ripe, but I tell you they are good. A few of those. I'm happy walking on. I thought it was going to be tarmac, but big lumps of concrete. We're just coming over a rise. It's always get change over top of a rise. And we've got some interesting smell. Not particularly positive one. Decomposing garbage, I'd say. Look at the mountains and the mess. Wow. Mist is almost coming down in places over there, like streams. I love the complex shape just along that bit of the ridge. Got a bit of a cloud inversion. Oh, I got to cross over the road. Classic. Told me to cross over a minute ago. Kerry stayed, so I crossed over and then dropping into the town. Oh, it's not going to be long till we break this 200-kilometre barrier. 2:15, definitely today. Nothing like walking along a road with a concrete paved path to make you appreciate a gravel one. A gravel one with some views. I'm liking this. This place, covered in Virginia creeper. It looks like you get quite a few, so it's open to the rafters to the top. See the lights, so that'll be a sort of outside seating dining area, but shaded from the sun with some cracking views to the mountains. Lots of grapevines all of a sudden. Yesterday was all just wild scrubland, which was lovely. I haven't seen them. Seen some signs for some bodegas. You know, those earth underground wine cellars. But, we're walking along. That is a gorgeous view. Cool. Yesterday you couldn't see any farms, and today they're just everywhere. All those mountains in the background. I'd say a fairly typical scene for a Spanish town. Lots of high rises, I mean even the small ones. What are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories maybe? Oh dear, well I say hello. Okay. Yep. Oh, okay. Again, I don't recognise that language. Where are you from? Lovely little suburb. You might think that's a smart vegetable plot. Oh my goodness, it's the one I went past a minute ago. That one's got grapevines in its back garden. I mean, there we go. Now we're talking. And cactus. You'd struggle to get a better view than that. The sun breaking on the mountains over there. Church tower. Cockerels singing everywhere. Had to happen. We knew eventually we would find out where those bits from Stonehenge had gone. The pillar. Yeah, it is definitely. You've got a big pillar, mate. Oh, those roses. Definitely lots to feast your eyes on walking through here on a sleepy Saturday morning. Oh. I think you'll see it, it's a cool chimney. There is. Oh, bodegas. Oh, it's a sleepy one. Hello. Yeah. Cutie. I got a lot of cherries on my cherry tree at home before the birds nicked them all. Apparently not. It's a really nice walk in this morning. I'm quite sure what this is. Oh, I reckon it's like a go-kart or quad track. Model Aeroplane Club. I would actually have a load of stands. There were two. I think one was quad bike, so that wasn't running anymore. It's beautifully quiet around here, so I can't imagine locals will be overly pleased with loads of two-stroke engines screaming away. But of course, this day and age it could be electric. And there was another one, and they had some stands which I couldn't quite figure out, which I guess is for the planes. Difficult to find impressive vegetable gardens over here. Or places that are ripe for development, if that's what you want. That bridge is cool. Old Camino Hospital, all beautifully preserved with an incredible door. A house with character, and then the view. And then we were bold, we walked past a coffee shop. At walking into the city, I feel confident. Definitely time for a coffee, orange juice and a croissant. Oh, I was impressed with the castle, and it's like, oh, Ku Klux Klan have come on holiday as well. Spanish Inquisition. I think I'll argue with you. Cool. Wow. That is cool. The coffee shop was holding out this morning. I don't think they were very early. Ooh. That's an amazing castle. Pretty cool circus, although I think I prefer the cats. I have all these views. Look, you can see down the mountains. That's going the opposite way to we've come. We've got the castle there. Cafe, yeah! A sculpture of some description. Building where an architect's got it wrong. There we go. A bit different. That castle, something else. We've not had time to go and explore it. And weirdly, I like these derelict buildings. I don't know why, but I do. Look, some more over here. And I love the street art. You get, well, this is not very exciting, but you get some cracking stuff in Spain. It's taken us a little while to get our heads around the fact these are actually pharmacies along the route. And the pharmacies, oh wow, I mean, if you want to have any foot problems, come to a pharmacy on the Camino. My goodness, the stuff that they have and the knowledge that they hold is amazing. Always makes you giggle. This little roof terrace hidden up here. I bet that's an amazing little oasis with the view of the river behind me. Sure how good a good example this is. I was just thinking, I need to lay the gauntlet down at home to do some better wall art, graffiti. Not really graffiti, is it? What is it? It's murals. Not that Spain doesn't suffer from all the tags. Them all on this park bench and on this kiosk like we get home. I'm trying to think where. I think it's France. We see it on the trains, especially around Paris and stuff, and the big cities. That's on a whole new level. Nice river, fast moving, burbling. Well, we should be down there rather than up here. Although the Camino trail's up here. With a bit of luck, it might drop down in a minute. Hee, doggies. In keeping with filming the crap along with the beauty. Don't think it is, but it wouldn't be out of place being a prison with it. But, it is next to a beautiful river here, and the advantage of these high rises is we're out of the city incredibly quickly. Museum de la Energy, I think, isn't it? Yeah. I've never seen such a clever graphic representation of how fossil fuels living off the dinosaurs. Oh, they're brilliant. Spain just seems to have a lot of art on the trail. Kind of beautiful. We've seen some. We were up. Where were we? Forest of Dean, and they had a trail that had a lot of sculptures on there, and that was clever. And they had ants made out of garden trowels and stuff. But that was kind of fun. It's funny. I think I might have mentioned it in one of my other videos, but I ended up teaching geography. It wasn't my subject, but as is the nature of education, you're not actually allowed to refuse with your contract to teach anything that the school requires. So when I was doing my early on in my teaching degree, I had a design technology teacher that had to teach French, and he couldn't speak a word of French, but they were short of a French teacher. Oh, historical and charming Villa France, where rivers are. Yeah, we're hoping we are going to be able to continue our way, but I've got some blisters on my feet now, both heels. They're not from. So blisters are usually caused by. You need three things: heat, friction, and moisture. So if you take any one of those away, chestnut trees. Oh God, that's what I had in the Pyrenees. We had an incredible meat meal. And instead of having with potatoes, it just came with, the portion you normally have with potatoes was actually chestnuts. It was, just amazing. So I taught geography for quite a while. Really enjoyed it. But, lots of geography teachers, outdoor ed teachers. But I can never quite figure out that, the idea with fossil fuels. We must be creating more fossil fuels now in some parts of the world, but of course that's not the case. And then relatively recently I was reading something, and there was a period of time before fungi came on the planet, and so trees were growing, and you had those complex fibres, but there's actually nothing to break them down. And that was the era when I thought, walking along next to the river, that would be really nice. No, up the little hill, that's okay. But that was the era when coal and all our fossil fuels were actually going produced. So it was a relatively short time in Earth's history before fungi came about. And I wonder, case with plastics now, that there's some fungi that and bacteria that are evolving to break down plastics, although plastics are a scourge of our planet at the moment. Of course, it's a great food source, and nature's fantastic at saying, actually, there's an opportunity here. So I don't know, we'll see. So I like Pomfrada. We're kind of blessed that the Energy Museum was closed, so I'd love to have had a look around. Oh wow, look at that, incredible. I kind of like that. You can have modern architecture can be beautiful, it can also be incredibly mundane and boring and shitty. Well, this is an old power station pub. A second. Oh, it is, yeah. Well, it's a current power station, an old one. Oh, and I think it's a turbine there. Doesn't look like a water turbine, I reckon maybe it's a gas turbine. Oh, we're going to find out. Woo! Oh, several. Yeah, the Camino is great for, you can explore a bit, but you've also got to make progress every day. The best ones are when you arrive in a town or a village, and if they've got a museum or something, there's usually enough time for you to grab a rest. In fact, I was listening to a guy in the church yesterday where we saw that incredible art from the petals and he was saying that their busiest time was sort of late afternoon, when the pilgrims had a rest from their day's walk, a bit uneven underfoot, and hadn't had their dinner yet. That's our typical one. Yeah, you had some time. That is the advantage with a motor caravan, although the walking on the Camino gives you lots of time to absorb the environment as you're walking through. Doesn't give you a lot of time for stopping and exploring museums like this in the middle of the day, because you're thinking, if we spend an hour or two here, then it's going to be 2-3 o'clock before the time you get in. You'll be walking through the heat of the sun, and gives you less time for a siesta. So you have quite a defined day. Early start, up at 5, out the door by 6, unless it's going to be a really hot day, then even earlier than that. Get in 11-12 o'clock, have a bite to eat, check in, shower, siesta, go and explore town, dinner, sleep. And then it takes me a while to go and edit you wouldn't think so, I'm sure, looking at my videos, but it still takes me a while to go and chuck those together and upload them. When I say edit them, they are very raw, at minimal amount of cropping and editing of pictures. Being close to these, see them on all the pylons, don't you? Actually, go and put your hand on one and touch one. They got a load there. Oh, Chloe's going, come on, let's go. I'll walk along next to this leat. But the Camino says differently. Got an ambulance garage station. Pontefora, I think it was. Easily spent a day in there exploring, taking a day off, but also we're trying to crack on a little bit now, because I really like to spend at least a couple of days. 3 would be cool in Muxia when we're finished, just defizzing and absorbing the experience. So although in theory we're not time pressured, seeing most people finish it in 35 days, and we've been going for 35 days, but got another 12 days to get to Santiago, 3 days to finish there, and a day to Muxia. But, we've had 5 zeros already, but, so we've done well. Which way? Wow, this is getting a bit topsy-turvy. Oh, there's a Camino arrow. Yeah, anybody's watching this that does these fitness things in the park, utter waste of time. But, I look at Fondafora, and Lyon's another cool place. Burgas I wouldn't recommend for a rest day. Have a look in the cathedral, and then crack on. What? We've been a little bit unfair to Burgos because they've got their museum of, I think it's human evolution. That's supposed to be amazing. We didn't see that. I dare say that's worth a look. At the same time, this reminds us of Butlins holiday camp. Heidi hi! We've got a man-made timber that's been infused into the tree. Oh, I'm liking the sculpture there. That's like Ice Age for the trolls, with the stones rolling around. I don't know, something about round, organic shapes as opposed to rectangular man-made ones. Just loving the mountains and the clouds. It's a good walk this morning. Yeah, I was just trying to see how far we are into the walk. 9 o'clock, so we've been going for 3 hours. Had a short breakfast stop. Coffee was good. It was pokey. Orange juice was absolutely amazing, as is always the case. Freshly squeezed orange juice, they don't really sell anything else. Gosh, they ought to go and ban UHT stuff at home. And even the freshly squeezed stuff you get from the supermarket, it's like, no, just don't bother. But my croissant, that was lacking. Yeah, that was very mediocre. But I'm still glad to have my mediocre croissant as opposed to no croissant. Kerry has a Neapolitana, which is a bit like a pain chocolat in France, but on steroids. It actually has a load more Nutella in it, and they warm it up, so it's all gooey in the middle. It's not for me, but she loves them. If you're picking up, just occurred to me that all of a sudden, this is very much like the southwest. You've got lush grass everywhere, lush vegetation. The ground's damp, there's a heavy dew on it. Very different to, since we left the Pyrenees really. Meseta was incredibly dry and arid. We've come out of that into the mountains. I noticed with the photos of the pilgrims in front of me that, it's really common for the ground to be wet. More often than not, they got their waterproofs on because they've had sort of rain showers. But quite looking forward to it really. I'm waiting to see me goats. I've seen quite a few cattle now, but I have a need to see some goats. Cockerels, that makes me smile every day. Heap loads of cockerels chatting themselves every morning. Japanese medlar. Look at those cherries. I tell you, they taste absolutely amazing. Occasionally there we go. Hope nobody's watching. They don't look like they're ripe, but they are. There's a silver wattle. It looks, are they really soft? Ish. And over there's a fig tree, although I couldn't see any figs on it. We get fig trees at home, I don't think I've ever eaten a fig off her. Now remember the property ping? So this is a whoop. Oh, that's a good one. Whoop. Yeah, like that. So we're going to see, we've got a graveyard here, and up until now they've all been locked. Which is a bit strange, because graveyards aren't for the dead. They're a place for the living to remember the deceased, like in a graveyard. And so if you can't go in there, so we've got a mountain range behind us, some sort of big industrial unit over there, it's blowing up the steam. Oh, I'm not willing to walk that far to go and see if it's open. Let's just go in just for the hell of it. Oh, I think it actually might be open. The first one. And we've seen a lot. I'm going to have to go in now because it's the first one I found open. Oh wow. Very different to... I think they must be a bit like family crypts. Where I would imagine that they're cremated. 75 years, there's only one person. They were so big, I was expecting to maybe see a whole family interned in. It just seems to be very different to a graveyard at home. My favourite one's actually been in Austria, and they the one I went to, got an incredible view. And they had, they weren't as fancy as this, but graves, more like that, like you would get in an English cemetery. And they'd put a elliptical tile on there with a photo of the person in their youth, sort of as a young adult, maybe when they're 30. And then because it was Austria, quite a few of them were German soldiers, but farmers and farmers' wives, and it's just really nice seeing a photo of the person of the grave that you were looking in. It was a nice touch. I've got my mum and dad's up at Hennock. I've got a photo of them there at the moment, but that's on a temporary one because you can't put a gravestone there for 6 months after you intern them. And so, that roof. We haven't seen any stork nests for a while. Going that across the mountains, but they're starting to appear back again, just a few. Yes, I'm going to see if I can get away with putting one of these tiles with a photo on Mum and Dad, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to. But there we go, we'll whack it on there and see what happens.